Today's episode is going to be a little bit different than normal. We're going to do a lot of talking, and some of you might not like that, which is fine. You might want to just skip this episode, because we're going to be doing a lot of talking about just kind of struggle and how to deal with that. Today we had, I don't want to be too dramatic, so I won't say tragedy, but we had a really big expensive thing happen, which I'll tell you about a little bit more in just a second. What was this tragedy, this big, gigantic thing that happened, this expense? Well, I was getting up to go shoot a video. It was going to be the last day of the chicken tractor build, and I went to set up the tripod with the camera to get a shot of me getting into our skid steer, because I was going to move the chicken tractor to work on it. And then this happens.
That's right. That happened.
Yeah, that happened. Ah, man. That was the dog and the dog's leash, and I set the tripod up there, and I just didn't even think about it. I didn't think about the dog being out there. It's totally my fault. It's just 100% my fault. So the first thing I do is I get angry at the dog, which, you know, it's not the dog's fault. It's my fault. So that lasted for a minute or two, literally a minute or two. And then I just got angry, you know? And that lasted for 10 or 15 minutes. And then, well, we had to ask a serious question.
Yeah.
A real serious question. Do we want to continue doing this vlogging thing? I mean, it's only been a month, and we have spent a ton of time doing it. You know, like a lot of time. Like this editing thing, I had no idea. Each one of these videos we're doing takes me 5 to 10 hours to edit. I mean, it's going on 12:30 on Sunday night, and I'm still out here editing this video. And this hasn't been that uncommon. It just takes a lot of time to do this. And I'm really, really impressed with the people who can manage to do one of these a day. I mean, it's really, really impressive when you think about it. It's a lot of time and a lot of dedication. Anyway, let's get back to this episode. I had no idea when we got into it. I mean, maybe if I had researched that, I'd have just been like, this is too much work, we're not gonna do it. But it takes a long time to do all this stuff. Surprisingly long. Like, I thought it would be click, click, throw it together and it's done. But it's not. It's way more complicated than that. So we have to ask ourselves this question: do we want to continue? You know, really, like, what do we want? Do we want to keep doing this? And are we willing to double down? Because that's what we're talking about doing right now.
Yeah.
Twice the amount of money. I mean, it's a really big question. Are we all in? Like, all in?
Or are we out?
So we sat there and thought about it. We thought about it for like 2 or 3 minutes. And then we went, okay, wait, hold up. Before we go any further, I have to run to town and get some kombucha. It was either gonna be wine, which I like, or kombucha, and I've decided on kombucha. So we're gonna go do that first. The reality is that there was no way that I was going to quit at this. I'm not gonna let something like this get in the way of me doing what I wanna do. I've just done this too much in my life, you know? Too often, where I've given up on the thing that I really want because something else comes up.
And you know, I think in the past, we probably would have looked at the expenditure, that $1,000, in a completely different way, because we're trying so hard to get out of debt right now. We probably would have been like, oh, no big deal, $1,000. But this was a really big decision.
Yeah, it was a huge decision. It's a huge decision for us. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's just no way I was gonna let this get in the way. No way. This was not going to beat me. Not this time. Not today. So we went and we borrowed money, which we hate doing, but we got this camera set up and we are really, really, really excited. I've spent the better part of the last 5 years of my life chasing after other people's idea of success. And I found myself to be just a cog, big machine, and I was just a piece of it. And I never got to actually make the thing that I wanted to see put into the world. And what we're doing with the YouTube and this channel and the other things that we're doing in our life right now, we're building things that I want to build. I'm getting to take my vision and make it real. And I'm getting to let my kids and my wife express things they want to say and build things they want to build and make things they want to make. I'm just not going to give up. I'd rather go bankrupt than go back to the way I was. I don't want that life anymore. And it's these kind of moments that you can either turn around with your tail between your legs and run away, or you can double down and you can move forward. And we decided to move forward. Whoever controls the tempo controls the fight. And we're going to control this tempo. We are moving forward. We are not stopping. We are not turning around. And we're not going to let a camera and $1,000 get in the way. It's just not going to happen.
I think you can do it too. If you do the right stuff, then you can end up here with like what we're doing, happy enough that you don't need more. And I think that's a good place to be.